Hello there, Goshen Lane 4th and 5th graders. Happy Monday. I hope you guys all had a fantastic weekend. We had some amazing weather outside on Saturday, so I hope you guys had a wonderful day, really got to enjoy it. It is a beautiful day here today as well, and as you can see, I'm back in our classroom picking up a few things, making sure that I have the things that I need for the week, but I did decide to make a little video here with our smart board. It's a big tool that we use in our classroom, and I wanted to make a small little video today for this Monday. And welcome. We are in the month of May, our last month of school. So Friday was May 1st. I did not mention it on that day because we were just cooking, but now we are in May. We are in our last month of school. It is crazy how fast this school year has went by. It's crazy some of the challenges that we faced this school year, but I know you guys have worked hard. You guys have all learned so much this year. It's incredible to see me as your teacher to sit back and watch as day one to finishing up the year now, how far you guys have come. So keep up the great work. We have this last month. It's not even a full month, and we really just want you guys to grow as much as you can in this last month, and then really, if you work as hard as you can right now, then you'll be able to have a fantastic summer, okay? You'll be able to have that fantastic summer. So we're in the room, and today we're going to talk about math concepts that we've talked about throughout the school year. And of course, all of us have different levels of math, different things that we can do, and that's okay. That's okay. Some of this might apply to you. Some of this might be something you never heard of before, but that's totally fine. If you're listening, you're going to be able to use that in your future. You say, oh, yeah, I remember Mr. Shrake talking about that in one of his videos. Oh, yeah, I've seen other kids in my classrooms do that. So it's definitely a good thing for you guys to be aware of all these things and just to refresh your memory, okay? So math concepts. And I'm going to be sitting right here and kind of working through this with you guys. So math concepts. So counting. Counting is one thing that we always do. We count so many things. If we go to the grocery store and someone tells us to go buy 8 apples for a recipe, we have to count those 8 apples. We can't just go grab a whole bunch of them, put them in our cart. We don't know how many we have. We have to be able to count. So on the board here, I wrote counting by ones, counting by fives, and counting by tens. If you can count by ones, by fives, and tens to 200 to 300, that's a skill that is an awesome skill to have. So if you want to, let's count by ones just to 20 really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now let's go count by fives to 50. All right, that's a good way to practice. And go ahead and count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. And then, of course, counting by tens is very important. And we're going to go all the way up to 200, right? Sometimes we get a little mixed up around after we pass 100, but it's just like adding a 1 in front of it, adding that 100 in front of it after we get there. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, and 200. All right, so counting, that's a skill that we are always going to use in math, always going to use in our daily lives. So if you're just at home and you're like, Mr. Shrake, what is something I really can practice? Just count by different kinds of things. Count by fives, count by tens, count by 20s, count by 25s, like using quarters and money, okay? Addition is on the board. It says we put all together. So addition is saying you have something here and you have something here. And you could have multiple things. You could have more than just something here and here. You could have something here, here, here. You could have 3 groups. And you're putting them all together. So say that with me. Addition is when we put things all together. So we're taking some over here. We're taking some over here. There might be more than just those 2 groups. We're going to push all our groups together, and we're going to add them together, right? So that's adding all together. And I'm just going to do a little addition problem here today, okay? A little addition problem. So we'll do 5 plus 8. And when we're doing addition, we can always draw pictures. We have 5 here. We know we need 8 here. And I'm just using scribble dots. It works the same. And what are we going to do? We're going to count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we know that problem equals 13. Addition, one more time. We add them all together. We put it all together. Okay? Let's erase that. All right, our next operation that we're going to talk about is subtraction. And I've showed you guys, as you can see, there's a picture of a trash can, just like a trash can in our school, right? Trash can. When we're subtracting, we can think about throwing stuff away. Think about a trash can, throwing something away. You have 8 bananas, Mr. Shrake. You have 8 bananas. Go throw away 5 of those. Go throw away 5 bananas. How many bananas are you going to have left? So once we throw something in the trash chute, are we going to count those anymore? No. We're not going to do that. We're going to say, all right, those are all gone. Now I have to see how many I have left. So always thinking about what we have left. Subtraction is when we are taking away. So I have some space right here. We're going to think of a little picture here. So we have 10 minus 2. We'll do that problem. 10 minus 2. And what does that equal? What does that equal? Oh, here's my question mark. Make sure you guys see that. 10 minus 2. So if I have, let's say I have, 10 bucks. 10 bucks here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll make them look like books. Little mini books. We have lots of books in our classroom. And we're going to take 2 away. We're going to think, well, you would hate throwing away a book, but maybe something happened to the book. Maybe it got ripped. Maybe it's unreadable. So we're going to say, we're going to throw it in the trash can, right? We're going to take 2 of these books, put it right in the trash, put it right in the trash. We know this is gone now. We know this is gone. So can we count those when we're trying to figure out our problem? No, we cannot. So we're just going to count out what we have left. What's our leftovers? Just like leftovers at your house, when you're eating, you have some leftovers sometimes when you eat dinner. So let's count what we have left over. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. So our answer here is 8. All right? There's a fly in here. All right. So we talked about addition. When we put it all together, we talked about subtraction. Now we need to think about multiplication. And a lot of you guys came so far with multiplication. Basic multiplication is what we're going to be talking about today. Of course, some of you guys are still doing some higher level multiplication, but this operation works the same way, working with smaller numbers or bigger numbers. You could draw pictures for these big problems, but that picture would take up a lot of space. So that's why we're working on some different ways with you guys. But I want you guys to remember what multiplication really means and where it comes from. So multiplication, think of how many groups and how many are in each group, okay? And as you can see up here, we kind of have a little picture, and we call that kind of a grid or an array. We've done arrays like this. So we have 3 times 4. We know we have 3 down. And we're going to put 4 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that's our array. And when we count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We know our answer is 12 when we do 3 times 4. Or another great picture that I'd really like to draw. We'll keep the same thing, 3 times 4. We have 3 groups. Think about groups and objects in each group, just like I said up there. We have 3 groups. I'm going to draw a picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 3 times 4. We're putting 4 dots. See, Mr. Shrake even messed up there. Putting 4 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And those are 3 groups, big groups, and we have 4 things in each group. And that's multiplication, and that equals 12. Okay? And even with big problems, even with really big problems, I'll give you guys a little example. That's a basic multiplication problem, but with big problems, like we'll say 24 times 12. That's a super big multiplication problem, right? Super big. 24 times 12. That means we have 24 groups. 24 groups. These big groups. We have 24 of those. You could say 24 students. A student could be a group. and each student has 12 pencils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Think about that. You have 24 of these groups with 12 things in it, right? That's going to be a lot. But multiplication works the same way. Multiplication works that same way. Think about groups, and think about how many objects in each group, okay? You guys are doing great. We have a few more operations to talk about, okay? Just a few more. Division. Division is like the opposite of multiplication. So division is when we are splitting into equal parts or groups. When we're splitting into equal parts or groups. So we've cooked a lot in here. We've done certain things. And you think back to like Christmas time when we made those little easy baked Christmas cookies, right? We made a lot of those. Mr. Shrake brought in like 3 or 4 boxes. And I go, all right, we want to split these into equal groups, right? I don't want to give one student 12 cookies and then everyone else get one. That's not fair. So think about being fair when you're dividing. Think about being fair, like, okay, I got all these cookies. I want to be fair and split them into equal groups. So say we cooked 16 cookies. We got 16 cookies. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. There's 16 cookies there, or just dots, okay? And we're going to say we got to split these into equal groups. We got to split these into 4 equal groups. So there's 4 students, there's 16 cookies. How many can we do that? And I showed you guys the Uno trick of where I have them all split out. Now I'm going to put them into 4 equal groups, and I start dealing like a card dealer, like when you're playing Uno, when you have to deal out 7 cards at the beginning. But here we have 16, and we know we have to split the 16 cards into 4 equal ones. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 1 in each group, and I know these 4 are gone. And then I'm going to go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now each person has 2. I'm going to split 4. The rest of my cards keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I just gave out those 4. So far everyone has 3. And I'm going to split one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just split them all up, and guess what? Each of the people I just handed them out should have 4 cards if I split it up equally. So 16 divided by 4 equals 4. Okay? And you guys can also even do it like this. You could say, okay, I know I need these to be equal. I know one person's getting 4, another person's going to get 4, another person's going to get 4, another person's getting 4. And I have 4 groups, and they're all getting the same equal thing. Okay? And you can think about splitting up pizza. You can think about splitting up cookies between your friends. You can think of just splitting up things equally, okay? Word problems. Word problems was one thing that we talked about a little bit of. And word problems used is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But we have to look for those key words that we were just talking about. So I have one word problem here today. Okay, let me make sure you guys can see, and I'm going to read it right now. Ben and Sally went to the apple farm to pick apples. Ben picked a total of 22 apples, and Sally picked a total of 7 apples. So we're going to write those down. 22 and 7. We know those are two important numbers in our problem. So Ben picked up 22 apples, and Sally picked up 7 apples. All together. So, that's a key word. We're going to underline it. All together. All together. So what did we say all together? Is that subtraction, multiplication, division, or addition? All together, how many apples did they get at the farm? So if you can remember, you know all together means when we push things all together to find out how much is all together, we know that's an addition problem. And we're just going to add it up. You could draw a picture. You can do 22 plus 7, or you could do touch points. There's so many different ways to solve these problems. If we do touch points, let me put my touch points on my 7. There's 4 dots, 5 dots, 6 dots, 7 dots. So I can go 22 and then count up. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So we know all together they got 29 apples. And that's just a word problem. Those key words are very important, and numbers in word problems are very important. Okay? And we have one last thing to talk about, is fractions. This is something that was on my to-do list at the end of the school year with a lot of you guys, and we've been doing it even though it is through distance learning. I've been uploading videos on it. It's very important stuff. But think about pieces of a whole. So a whole would be like this whole pie. Okay? And if we split that pie into 4 pieces, that means, we'll finish the pie because there's a piece gone. That means if we cut it into 4 pieces, that makes each piece 1/4. So that's 1/4, that's 1/4, that's 1/4, and that's 1/4. What if I just said, hey, there's 2 of us. Let's eat this whole pie together. Let's eat this whole pie together. So we have a whole pie here, and we're just going to cut it right in half. That makes this whole side a half, and this whole side a half. Okay? And we ate a whole half. We ate this whole half. We have a half left. So you can think about pieces of a whole. Okay? And over here, I just wanted to go over this really quick with you guys. So as you can see, there's a shaded area, and each of those shaded areas represent a fraction. So in this one, half of it's frozen. So we got 1 piece. Oh, whoops. Give me a second. There we go. We're back. We're wrapping it up. Each of these pieces, we count them. 1, 2. We know there's 2 pieces. And how many pieces are colored in? 1. Here we got 1, 2, 3. We know that 3 goes on the bottom as our denominator. And we have 1 piece colored in. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1 colored in, 4 pieces that are cut. We'll do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know there's 5 pieces there, so we put a 5 on the bottom for the denominator, and the top is just a 1 because there's only 1 colored in there. And that top number is called a numerator. The bottom number is a denominator. And some of you guys are already doing some addition, just like putting them together. Some of you guys are doing subtraction. You have a fraction. You're going to take so much of a fraction away. When we take away, we think of the trash can. We're throwing some of that fraction away. It works the same way, okay? So that was our fraction talk. Think about pieces of a whole, and think about when you eat pizza and when you are eating pie. You're making fractions. You take 1 piece away. Usually there's 8 pieces in a pizza. You took 1 piece away and ate it. There's 7 pieces left. So there's 7/8 of a pizza left. So these are the operations I wanted to go over with you guys today. This was a long video because there's a lot of operations, lots of different things that we do. Hopefully, if you had a question about something, you're figuring that out now, but I really want to just go over these operations. Let's have a great week. I hope you guys enjoy your day. It's May. It's our last month of school. So excited. Make sure you're signing up for Google Hangouts this week with me and Mr. Austin. Also, some of my 8th graders, I'm sending out emails about meeting with some middle school teachers. Don't get upset. Don't get too worried about that. That will come to you as I get information from middle school teachers. I know some of it's been sent out to our kids that are going to West. So have your parents check your emails for that. You guys have a great Monday, rest of your Monday, and also go Lions and enjoy this beautiful Monday. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.